This episode of Earl Grey is brought to you by Audible.com, offering more than 180,000 titles for smartphone, tablet, and desktop. To get a free audiobook of your choice and help Trek FM at the same time, visit audibletrial.com/trekfm. And also by Enterprise in Space, an international program of the nonprofit National Space Society. Find out how you can help science and education and become a virtual crew member aboard the NSS Enterprise Orbiter by visiting enterpriseinspace.org.
Hi, this is Robert O'Reilly. My name is Gowron. Honor to you and your house. You're listening to Trek FM.
T.O. Grey Hospital.
Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Earl Grey, Trek FM's dedicated podcast to the next generation. I'm your host, Amy Nelson, and joined with me today are, as usual, Justin Ozer and Richard Marquez. Justin, how are you doing? We had a Thanksgiving weekend.
I'm doing great. Spent some time with family, had a good meal, had some nice days off of work, so it was great. How about you, Amy?
Very, very good. I actually went away. I had the whole week off, so it was very productive and enjoyable, relaxing. I could go on and on. It was great. I am very thankful. Now, Richard, how are you doing today?
Good.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was half chaotic and not. But
it must have been with family.
Yeah, no kidding, right? As always.
Well, we are finishing our second part today of actors who got their first start. Again, we just wanted to thank Standard Orbit for this fabulous idea. Ken Tripp, don't be sending any lawyers to us. But we're going to be looking at actors from seasons 5 through 7, and then also in the movies. But before we get going, Justin, you have an email, some feedback that you want to read?
I do. So we received an email from Alexander Bohm, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Germany. And I love that we have listeners from all over the world. And he had listened to our recent episode, number 203, where Richard and Patrick Devlin and I did a commentary on the episode, The Quality of Life. And
someone listened?
Some people did actually listen, and this email is proof. No, I'm sure a lot of people did. So he said, "Greetings. I just had the pleasure of listening to Earl Grey episode 203, in which, among other things, the definition of life was being discussed. That caught my attention, especially because I just recently finished writing a seminar paper on that exact topic for university. Right now, many papers are published on the topic of process philosophy regarding biology, and, for instance, the question if viruses are alive. At its very core, this theory states that alive is not an intrinsic attribute that can be assigned to any one thing, but instead life is a complex interaction between processes, and something can be called alive for as long as it is participating in such interactions. What's interesting about that theory is that there are no hard lines. You cannot define a set of rules that something has to adhere to be called alive. Basically, we recognize that the term alive is just a human concept to roughly describe certain states, but has no real, hard, set natural basis to it. I think it is very, very cool that Star Trek sort of foreshadowed this concept by blurring the line with Data's example of fire in the discussed episode. He is basically already proposing that instead of searching for a clear definition in nature, which doesn't exist, we need to make up our own minds about it and tread every instance of life on individual terms. But to answer the question whether or not a virus is alive, the currently published philosopher Dupre has argued that a virus can be called alive, for example, when it is part of the human microbiome and actively contributes to the human life cycle. That happens, for example, when a virus attacks not human cells, but invading bacteria, thereby becoming an indirect part of the immune system and fulfilling a similar role to white blood cells. Well, thank you, Alexander, for that email. I love that our listeners have these specialties, in this case, biology, that they're looking at things through a lens of. And Richard, when you and I and Patrick were doing that commentary, I thought we were just having a lot of fun. But we did talk about the definition of life a little bit, and that spurred this email from Alexander. So what do you think about what he wrote to us?
Well, it just brought me back to high school, because I remember discussing that in high school, or honors biology is what I took, and it just it brought back a lot of memories about all that. But definitely very intriguing stuff. I really do enjoy that.
Well, I feel smarter just listening to that. So thank you. I love that our listeners, have these special interests and share with us what they know. So thank you so much for the email. Well, we also got some feedback on our last Earl Grey 204, the first part of actors who got their starts. And Richard, do you want to read what Greg had to share with us?
Sure, I can do that. Greg said, Michelle Forbes was also in a series you did not mention, but I absolutely loved, Orphan Black. She was only in a few episodes in season 2 as Marianne Bowles, and it was a bummer she was never brought back. She could have been a nice reoccurring character.
Yeah, I unfortunately do not watch Orphan Black, but I've heard some really good things, mostly from Greg, that he really enjoys the show.
Right. It looks intriguing, because we just were reading about that on Wikipedia, and the description of the show sounds really interesting. So I might have to take a look at that.
Yeah, I will too. Matthew Bell wrote, an interesting look at more obscure actors in the series, and it reminded me that I need to get around to watching 24. Yes, that is a great show. As for Troy's promotion exam, there is a brief exchange between herself and Riker in the episode just after she blows up the Enterprise. Thank you for mentioning that.
It's charged language.
I know, man. There was some other comments that Troy knows how to blow up ships. Well, ha ha ha. So he continues, says that she lists some of the other parts of the bridge officer's test: the diplomatic law, first contact procedures, bridge operations. Apparently she passed all of those easily, of course, because she's smart. It's just the engineering qualification in hologram form which she can't beat. So yeah, that does go to prove that it's not just one test, but there are multiple tests, which we sort of figured to become an officer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, watch 24.
Yes. So listeners, just wanted to remind you, please go ahead and leave us a iTunes review and star rating. We have an amazing giveaway if you do that, and it goes through December 31st, so you've still got another month and a couple weeks, so about 6 weeks, where you can leave us a written review and your name will be entered into a drawing, and that is the amazing Juan Ortiz TNG 30th anniversary, and it's his artwork that covers every episode of The Next Generation, and it's beautiful. Well, we've talked about it before. I love it. Justin and I have it, and we want to share that with you, the listeners. So please go ahead and leave us a written review and a star rating. It really helps other listeners to find our show and to become more active. Well, as we look at the actors who got their start, one of the most popular and favorite characters who got their start on Next Generation is Ashley Judd. And we know Chris Jones is very excited. We finally get to talk about Ensign Robin Leffler. She was on season 5, episode 2 and 6, and that was Darmok and the Game. So that was in 1991. So she was able to do quite a bit of other things.
Oh, we have to talk about what she actually did on those episodes.
Oh, okay. Right? Well, Justin, tell us about... We got to
keep Chris listening here, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, Justin, tell us about Robin Leffler.
Well, so I mean, the first appearance she had was in Darmok, and she just has kind of a small role there. But then they brought her back in the game, where she actually has a sizable role, along with Leffler and Wesley Crusher trying to figure out this mystery of why everybody is totally into this game and kind of getting taken over. And I think she does a really great job of kind of balancing, being a really good Starfleet officer with being kind of a personable and friendly person. I mean, I think it was really great, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring her back for more episodes. I liked her a lot in those episodes, especially the game.
Yeah, it's not like she became like a huge stardom right after that, because her next credits like in 1996 or something like that.
Well, the next one that we have there,
yeah.
Although she did
some other things in between, but yeah, the next big one, 1996, she played Carla Brigance in A Time to Kill, which was awesome. Libby in 1999 for Double Jeopardy. Did you guys see that movie? I love that movie. In fact, I own it. It's so good.
Well, tell us about it.
Oh, shoot.
Tell me more.
Okay.
Tell me more.
I haven't seen it. Tell me more.
Well, it's Double Jeopardy, and she's like the main character, and she's committed murder okay, I can't tell you about it. It's been too long.
Oh, okay.
I need to rewatch it. Okay.
But it's a murder thing, and then she gets away with murder, and then because they drop the charges, and then they actually find out that she actually did it, but because she was already tried and found not guilty, then they couldn't charge her again.
Is that the premise, or you just give away the whole movie?
I just gave away the whole movie. You asked.
Wait. Spoiler alert.
I mean, it's 1999, so it's been, a couple years.
I don't know.
But
Some people have never seen it. I mean, we might have younger listeners that might have never seen Double
That's
Jeopardy.
true. I mean, and you guys haven't seen it, but I would highly recommend it.
Okay.
In 2000, she played Lexi Coop, Where the Heart Is. Did you guys see that one? I think that's a drama.
It sounds like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
Kinda
it's
does.
one of those feel-good drama.
I bet
movies.
Jennifer will know that because she watches the Hallmark channel during the winter season. So, yeah, she might know what it is.
Yeah. I did see in 2002 Divine Secrets of the Ya-Ya Sisterhood, and it was so nice to see her. She did a great job in that, and she played the younger Vivi because it's about older women. Anyways, so that was really nice. She played in 2004 Jessica Shepard in Twisted, and that's another really good whodunit, murder crime movie. Did you guys
Okay.
not see Twisted either?
Hey, I told you
No.
in the last episode I probably haven't seen almost everything that we're going to cover, but that's why I'm saying tell me about it.
Yeah, Twisted is really good. It's another one of those. It's like the movie title says. It's you're thinking one thing, and then at the end, it's all mixed up. That's a really good one.
Is it
I
like Along
definitely-
Came a Spider? That kind of suspense where it leads
Yeah.
you into one direction and the reality is it's another person?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a good one. Now, for those listeners who have kids, she was Lorraine Nelson in Dolphin Tale in 2011, and then also in 2014, Dolphin Tale 2. Did you see that, Richard, with your young daughter?
No, I don't think we have. She's not really into animal movies,
Okay.
but like cartoon with animals, she definitely does. So,
Yeah, I heard good things about the movie. I just never saw it. Now, maybe this one you guys will have seen. I have not seen it. She played Margaret Asher in 2013, Olympus Had Fallen.
I remember
Isn't-
her in this movie, but I don't remember what she did because I was focusing on all the gunfire. So
Yeah, this
movie's
is a
really
shoot
good.
'em up movie, right?
Oh yeah. It's a really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie if you want to watch some really hardcore action. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big action. I remember saying, I think I can skip that one. Now, I'm sure listeners will remember her in 2014 Divergent, and then 2015 Insurgent, and 2016 Allegiant. And she played the mother, Natalie. And I just love seeing her. She just brings, especially in this movie, just the warmth, and she embodies that motherhood so well. I really liked her in those trilogy movies. Did you see those, Justin?
I did not.
She almost spit her coffee out.
Wow!
What do you mean?
You
wow?
should see those. Those are really good.
See, I've
Well,
only
what,
seen.
What?
Oh,
okay,
good.
what's the basic concept of the movies?
Richard?
Okay, so I've only seen Divergent in Insurgent, Allegiant, where Jennifer and I are protesting it for whatever reason, but I'm just supporting her on
All right,
that.
tell me about the first one.
But I think I've never read the books, and it's been a very long time. But it's based off of a book series, and I can't remember. Oh, is it called Divergence? Is that what
Yeah.
the book series is called?
I think so, yeah.
I'm not an expert at it, but basically, it's like the city is broken up into 4 different different groups of people, like classes, mostly like intellectuals, rich and poor, and all that kind of stuff. And basically, it's breaking the mold. That's basically what that movie is about, or series is about. And the girl that's the main character is called a divergence. So in other words, she's
Because
not
she's like
everyone else.
multiple.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So.
It's really good. It reminded me a lot of Hunger Games. It's that ish. Yeah.
I really like Divergent. That was a really good movie. Like I said, I've never seen Insurgent or Allegiant, and I actually want to when she lifts the ban.
All right. Well, we'll talk to Jennifer
Wow,
then.
a
Okay.
band, huh?
She's
mind.
hardcore. She's hardcore into those books, and she just doesn't think that they represent the movie. Doesn't represent the movie well. Divergent was a push on that one because she just wanted to see it,
Okay.
but she didn't want to see the others. So I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
Well, and most recently, we have Ashley Judd playing Beverly Page in a TV series, Twin Peaks. Have any of you seen that? I have not.
Not the newer one, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been to the
2017.
restaurant, but not the scene in the movie. But no, I've never seen it either.
Well, she definitely has had a very illustrious career both in TV and in movies, and we're glad that she got her start here on The Next Generation.
Wait, I want to add something, even though again
Yes.
it's something I haven't seen. I was noticing on her list that she's actually been in this show, Berlin Station, that Michelle Forbes is also on currently. So
Yeah,
There you go.
see
two
these crossovers.
Next Generation people together.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Again, super, super famous. Justin, you want to
Yes.
talk about this one?
Should I?
Richard, do you want to talk about this
I
one?
do want to
Richard
talk
talk
about
about
this.
Okay, I was getting the Richard vibe.
So the next one is going to be it's Famke, right? Famke
Famke?
Janssen or Jansen.
Famke.
Famke. So as we all know her in TNG as Kamala on The Perfect Mate in 1992, season 5, episode 21. Yeah,
Yes, we have indeed talked about that one here.
we
And
have.
we will
have.
be, listeners, talking with a Warp 5 with Brandon. And we sort of compared The Perfect Mate with the
Oh, Precious Cargo.
Precious Cargo. Thank you. So that's going to be coming out next month, listeners. So you can hear us talk about that a little bit more in depth with Warp 5.
Okay, so the next one is Xenia Onatop from GoldenEye. I love that movie.
I do
absolutely
too. This is one
love
that I
movie.
own myself.
You know what?
Nice.
This is one I think I did see because I was a fan of the Bond movies in the 90s.
Oh, Pierce Brosnan Bond movies are my favorite.
I don't care what anyone says. GoldenEye is okay. I know I'm gonna catch flack for this, but GoldenEye is the best Bond movie. Period.
Of all of them?
Out of all of them, I love GoldenEye.
I'm sure you'll get some argument about that.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. We'll probably hear from Lee. We'll probably hear from Matt.
Yes.
But I absolutely love GoldenEye. It's my favorite movie out of all of it. When I'm seeing all of them, and it doesn't matter. GoldenEye is the best to me.
Yeah. And she does a great job in it.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
You know
It
what?
sucks how she died.
Yes.
Spoilers. Anyway.
Hey, we didn't say how she died.
Okay. Just that she died. You know what? Like, I was a big fan of the Bond movies in like I think I started seeing them in like the late 80s and then into the 90s. And but I probably saw GoldenEye when it came out and not since. So I can't comment on your contention, Richard, but but I do remember liking the Pierce Brosnan ones and the Sean Connery ones a lot. So
Yeah. I mean, if they would have redone like some of the Sean Connery ones, if they could, that is. I mean, I think it would be a lot better nowadays versus, but obviously that's any movie back in the past. So, yeah. Anyway, so next one we have, is it Trillian? Trillian? Yeah. Trillian St. James. And she was in Deep Rising, 1998. I never seen Deep Rising. Have you?
I have
No.
not either, but I've heard about it, so I know that it was, a big movie, but I did not see it.
I think I've seen bits and pieces of it. That's about a shark, right? That shark, the sharks are like getting super smart or something like that. I think.
Could be.
Okay.
So look it up. Rising makes it seem like something from the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, watch it not be anything like that.
Wait, I have a description here which makes it sound really kind of interesting. A group of heavily armed hijackers board a luxury ocean liner in the South Pacific Ocean to loot it, only to do battle with a series of large-sized, tentacled, man-eating sea creatures who have taken over the ship first.
There you go.
Okay, it has nothing to do with sharks. Okay.
Tentacled
Some
creatures.
sea creatures.
Yeah,
With laser beams on their head.
possibly.
I'll probably have to look that up.
Anyway, that's the description on IMDb, so
Nice.
hopefully
Nice.
accurate.
And we also have, she's also known as Jean Grey in X-Men, X-Men 2, The Last Stand, or in The Last Stand, as well as Days of Future Past. If you guys are all X-Men fan, I loved her in the first one, but that's the only one I really like. I really didn't like the rest of them. So, but yeah. Have you guys seen the X-Men? Any of the X-Men movies?
Yes, and I own them all because I really enjoy X-Men, and she does such a fantastic job. Her look is so different than what I remember her from TNG. I mean, obviously she's a bit older, but
Right.
she's so she owns that character, and what she does with it and the good and the bad and how she goes back and forth is just really, really good. So she does a great Jean Grey.
It will not surprise you to learn I have not seen them. You know, as we describe these things, it seems my cutoff is about 1997, with a couple exceptions. But
Nothing happened after that.
well, no, I mean it's more that like when I was a kid, I would go out and I would see all the movies that were coming out as they came out, and then I went to college in '97, and after that, I just kind of I don't know, I lost track, or I wasn't interested in some of the stuff that was coming out, and that goes for TV shows as well for the most part. So.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
good. You were focusing on your degree, so that's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
It just doesn't help us now, but it's good.
Well, hey, I saw GoldenEye, and there's at least one other thing on this list coming up I have seen, so I'm not going to say no to everything.
Oh wow.
Anyway,
Well, that's good.
But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad you guys enjoyed her character in X-Men.
I like her. I like her in the original X-Men. I mean, I know, not to. I've been a victim of doing that, comparing the comic books with the movies, and I know it's not all going to be the same and everything, but it's like it sucks sometimes. But that's just me. So yeah. So the next one we have for her as well is Lenore, and she was in Taken, Taken 2, and as well as Taken 3
With Liam Neeson.
with Liam Neeson, right?
They're good movies. I saw Taken, which I really liked. And then Taken 2, I was like, okay, it's just the same thing. And then I didn't even see Taken 3 because I'm like, okay, it's the same premise. They like changed nothing. Just someone else was taken. And I'm like,
So-
okay, let's get a little more creative, please.
So the title's very descriptive. So somebody gets kidnapped.
Yes.
They got took.
They get and then does somebody else get kidnapped in the second one, or is it the same person?
It's the daughter in the
Someone
second
different.
one.
Okay.
No, it's the daughter in the first and the wife in the second.
Oh, that's right. And the third one is it him?
I have no idea because I didn't even want to see it.
That's right.
So they just keep kidnapping people for each movie.
Yeah, to the same family. And I'm like, really?
Well, it makes
Really?
sense. Yeah. Once they made the second one, you obviously knew there was going to be another one. I mean, there's 3 of them in the family. So.
Yeah. So, listeners, I would recommend the first one, 2008, Taken. And then if you want to see the same thing again, just a different person being kidnapped, then see Taken 2 and Taken 3.
If you want to see him get kidnapped.
Yeah, we might get some flack for that, but that's okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So that's Famke Jensen. So next, Justin.
Sure, I'll do the next one because it actually includes something I've seen besides.
That's what I was
TNG, so-
thinking.
All right, the next one is Kirsten Dunst, who played Hedril on season 7, episode 7, Dark Page. And as I mentioned, this is one that I rewatched recently, Amy, because I hadn't seen it for a while.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I said it's a really good episode. And in this episode, Kirsten Dunst plays Hedril, who's one of the children of the telepathic race, right? Mm-hmm. And she does a really good job. I think at the time she was like 10 or 11 years old, but she's really good at this this role in the episode. But I think it's kind of a difficult role to do in kind of this intense episode. Richard, have you taken the opportunity to rewatch Dark Page lately?
Are we still taking jokes? No, I was kidding. No, I have not. But I do remember seeing her face before. And does she have like different kind of ears?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
No, it's almost like it's weird because it almost looks like there's like brain matter on the outside of their heads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, got it. It looks like they have like some kind of handle or something like that. Yeah.
Well, not a handle. I mean, it kind of looked. I mean, especially like in Kirsten Dunst's makeup, it looks like they just kind of glued some light colored kind of. They've got swirly things. I don't know. All I can say is it seems like there's brain matter. Just look up a picture.
Hold on. I'm gonna do it right now.
Because it looks. I mean,
Page.
and like the adults, it doesn't look quite as like stuck on, but for hers, it looks a little bit stuck on.
It does look like it's stuck on. Looks like some. It does look like brain matter.
It does.
Well, that aside, she did
Anyway,
very
she
well,
did a
and
great
she's a
job.
very young actress.
Yeah, she was
I
very
want
young
that dog
at the
that's
time.
next to her. Oh no, that's no, never mind. Okay. Sorry, tangent.
So anyway, she was. I think she was great as Hedril in Dark Page, which was one of her first roles. And then she went on to play Mary Jane Watson in the Spider-Man films, which it will not surprise you. I think I have not seen. Have you guys?
Nope, I don't remember that.
I love her in the Spider-Man movies. I really do. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen them all, so I love her in those movies.
And
She's
like,
great.
what kind of character does she play?
Well, Mary Jane is the love interest of Spider-Man, and basically,
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So she's like I said, she's the love interest of Spider-Man, and
Right. So this was some years later.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just haven't seen those. Were there 3 movies she's in? Is that right?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
It might be 3. Yeah, I think so. Because I think they changed the Mary Jane character. Yeah, they did. They changed the Mary Jane character for the next actor. I can't remember his name. But I think she it's either one or 2 or 3. It's one of those 2. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Excellent. But then what we also have is she played Claudia in 1994's Interview with the Vampire Chronicles. Now, I don't think I've seen this. However, I did read the original Interview with the Vampire book, in the 90s, and I really liked that a lot. But did you guys see the movie or is this is a movie adaptation, right?
Are you talking about the is it Tom Cruise that was in the Interview with the Vampire?
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see that one.
No, I've never seen it either.
And it's funny because it came out in 94. I think I'd read the book right before that, so I'm kind of surprised I don't think I saw it. I think at the time I was like, this is great to read about, but this is going to freak me out on the screen, so I didn't see it. But anyway,
No.
that was another role. And then after that, she played Judy Shepard in 1995's Jumanji, which I have seen.
Yay!
I think I saw it shortly after it came out, and that's the one where like it's with Robin Williams, and they're playing this game, and the game comes to life, right? So there are all these animals that come out of the game and stuff. I think it's a fun movie. So was she just one of the? She must have been one of the kids in the family, because this was just a couple years after a TNG role, right?
Right, she was definitely younger. She looked about 12 or
She's probably
10 or
12 or
12
13,
in in
something like that.
1993. I mean,
Oh, in '93, I think she was like 10 or 11.
okay, so yeah,
This is a
she's
couple years
probably
later.
about 12 or 13. Yeah, right around when she did Jumanji, because she was still fairly young, but she wasn't young to where she looked like in Dark Page. But yeah.
But you like the movie?
I love the movie. The
I
movie's
think
great.
it's great fun.
We can't wait until the new one comes out.
Oh, is there a new one coming?
Yeah, with The Rock and I can't remember the actors. But yeah, it looks fun.
Oh, nice. So with The Rock, who, okay, not TNG, but he pretty much got his acting start on Voyager.
Indeed, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Amy, did you see Jumanji?
I did.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was fun and scary all at the same time. It was weird.
I guess I could see that. I thought of it more as fun, but
It was a little scary to me, not going to lie.
Those
Okay.
monkeys.
I haven't seen it for a while, so I don't know. Maybe it was scarier than I remembered. Okay, so next up, she played Charlie Chiamingo on ER, the TV series. Am I pronouncing that right?
I think so.
And it's funny. ER is actually something that I did see, at least part of it, like 97, 98. So I think I started watching it a little bit the year after she was actually in the show. So did you guys watch ER or remember this character?
I watched it until George Clooney left, and then I was and we all know why. Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
I couldn't believe how long that TV show went on, but so I don't know that I would remember her in that, but yeah, I watched ER.
Yeah, like I watched it 97, 98 when I was in college, and we were watching it together. And I just kind of lost track. I had no idea it was on for like, I don't know, 15 years or something crazy like
No,
that.
crazy.
I lost track of it long before that. But okay, well, she played a character on ER before I ended up seeing it.
The only thing I remember about ER is that episode where they find a bazooka or something like that, or a rocket, and they shoot it through the door and blow up that ambulance. That's all I remember about ER.
Wow.
Okay, so
that
I
episode.
think we've established to get Richard's attention, you need something to blow up or be
It was actually
fired or.
but it was it was crazy because I turned it on to ER just out of the blue, and that scene happened. I'm like,
You're like,
whoa,
wait a minute, I gotta watch this.
What have
it
I
was
been
really cool.
missing?
right?
Yeah, I think I would have remembered that if that happened while I was watching it, but
Yeah, I don't know that episode. I guess I could look it up, but no, I don't. That's all I
well, I
remember
guess
about
she was
ER.
on for she was on for 6 episodes. Okay, looks like, yeah. Well, just right before I was watching. All right, so what we also have is the voice of young Anastasia in 1997's Anastasia. Have
And
you
I
guys seen this?
just watched this movie last week, and I enjoy the movie. The animation is not good, but the movie is really good, and she does great. I remember because I'd done the research for this, and so I heard young Anastasia. I was like, oh, that's Kirsten Dunst. That's Hedrel. So
You know what?
good.
I don't realize it, but I'm looking at an image. I may have actually seen this one.
it's, about the Russian princess.
Yeah, the Russian princess. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so she did some voice work on that.
The album's really good. I absolutely love the music to this
It is.
movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I don't own
music.
this one, but I mean, I definitely remember watching it several times with my sister when it came out. But like, like this. I mean, the album is what resonates the most about this movie.
Yeah. It's on Netflix. That's where I watched it recently.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
Nice.
I'll show it to Eva.
So the last one you have on the list, Amy, this is also from something that I've seen, and it's not from 20 years ago. How about that?
How about that?
I do get out and see a few movies here and there. All right, so she was Vivian Mitchell in 2016's Hidden Figures, which I loved. I thought that was an amazing movie, and I'm trying to think now, like, who was Vivian Mitchell in that
She was
movie?
the
Is that
white
terrible?
manager that was,
she was-
going against, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Oh, she was the. You know what? I didn't even realize that was Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one over all the secretaries.
Yeah,
that was,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course
Oh
she's
my
white.
goodness.
Why do you have to
Yes,
say
there you
white?
go.
I think she
Wow.
was born that way, Richard.
I
Anyway.
would hope so.
But no, I mean, it helps for context within the movie. But no, I love that movie. I mean, if listeners haven't seen that, hopefully a lot of them have. That was just a really amazing movie about, the history of African American women that helped with the space program in the 60s. It's a really excellent movie. And you know what? I wasn't even thinking like that was Kirsten Dunst playing that role. Wow. But that was really good. So have you?
Yeah,
you've
it's an
seen it?
important movie that shows, just the contributions that women make. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. So there's like 3 things, including the TNG role, that I've seen on that list.
Yay
It
for
can't get any
Kirsten.
better than that. All right, so that's Kirsten Dunst. Nice.
All right. Richard, you want to do this next one?
Most certainly can.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one we have on our list is Terry O'Quinn as Admiral Eric Pressman from season 7, episode 12, The Pegasus. Yay! Basically, this episode deals with it's basically a Riker episode, and it deals with technology that's banned. Is it Khitomer? It wasn't a Khitomer Accord, was it?
This was a like a ship that had a cloaking device, which was against it was in accord with the Romulans.
Right.
The treaty. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember it. It was a treaty with the Romulans.
There
But
we
it
go.
was more than a cloaking device.
Well, yeah,
It was a phasing cloaking device.
phasing cloaking
Yes.
device. But basically, yeah,
which was pretty awesome.
yeah,
I loved seeing the Enterprise actually like do a phased cloak through. I think it's an asteroid that they're in, but it's a
Right.
really great episode. And the admiral that he plays, Eric Pressman, it's just really great to see something from Riker's background, and he does a great job in the role.
So, oh yeah, I'm the one that's leading this. I forgot for a second there. So he also played as another admiral, Admiral Thomas Boone, in JAG from 1995 until 2002 for 10 episodes. I watched the first few seasons, not the later seasons, but I know JAG. So yeah.
I do not know Jag. I heard it was really good, and I like those type of movies. I watch NCIS and stuff, but I never got around to Jag.
Yeah.
I have not seen it, but isn't kind of what you see in like Measure of Man, like their JAG Corps in Starfleet? It's kind of like that
Yeah.
Yeah. In a sense, yeah.
in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have not seen it. Oh, and I had a chance to look up the treaty. It's the Treaty of Algeron.
There we go.
That's the Romulan treaty.
There we go. Awesome. And the next one we have is he played as FBI Assistant Director Kendall from 2002 to 2004. Under. Why am I saying under? I'm seeing Alias, but thinking that I'm going to say a name with it. But like in Alias for 18 episodes. I've never seen Alias. Have you guys seen Alias?
Would it surprise you to say I have not?
No. I heard it's a good TV show, but then again, it only looks. I don't know how long it lasted, so I'm assuming it is. I hope so.
It was on for like 6 seasons, it looks like.
Is it?
5
Oh.
seasons, okay. But no, I didn't see it.
No, neither did I. So, okay. So, he also played as General Nicholas Alexander from 2003 to 2004 in The West Wing. Another show I've never seen
Yes.
before. Have you seen
really?
it?
No, I mean, come on. Of course I haven't. But because I haven't seen any of the other high-profile things we've talked about. But I've heard a lot of people talk about it at the time, but I have never seen it. Have you, Amy?
Yes.
Okay.
The West Wing is really, really good. In fact, I've been thinking about going and doing a rewatch of it. I love that political, and it's just relevant, and it's so good and smart, and the fast talkers, and I just love that kind of thing. And I don't remember him. I mean, it was only 7 episodes, and West Wing went on for many, many seasons. So, but I definitely would highly recommend West Wing.
It looks like Terry O'Quinn got cast in a lot of like authority figure roles. 2 admirals,
Exactly.
FBI assistant director, general. Like he must
Admiral.
have that kind of
It's got that
Weight
air
to
about
him.
it.
yeah.
Nice. So the next one we have is he was John Locke from 2004 to 2010 and for 117 episodes, which I don't understand. Under Lost. I was not a fan of Lost at all. So were you guys a
This
fan
is
of Lost?
what most people probably recognize him for, because
Probably.
when I, hear Terry O'Quinn, they're like, "Oh, he was Locke on Lost," and I myself have not seen it. My mother really enjoyed Lost, and I never picked it up.
It's a funny thing. I heard so much about Lost during its run, but I'd never watched it. And sometimes I make a point, like if it's something that everybody's talking about or that's really popular, I'll just avoid it because I don't want to watch what everybody else is. Maybe that's weird, but I never saw it.
You got Lost out there.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes like I'll read about the premise, and like I said before, for the most part, besides Star Trek, I'm into comedies more than dramas. So it has to be a really compelling drama that isn't just about like murder intrigue, but that's tough.
I heard it was
Well,
really.
and
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think this was one of the shows that sort of changed or was in that where you're changing the formula of what an episode looks like and the long, huge arcs and telling just a little bit of the story, a little bit here. And so it was so, kept you hanging week after week after week that you never got any answers. And I think that was one of the things that steered me away from it because I like episodic TV.
Yeah.
And this was definitely not. I think I saw 1 episode, or maybe I think I saw 2 because my mother was so into it. And I was like, the story isn't going anywhere. I got really frustrated and just dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that from what I've heard, at least, that Lost is one of those things that really kind of ramped up people's interest in serialized TV and doing things week after week. But it wasn't kind of the first to do that.
Yeah,
but,
no, I think it just, followed.
But I remember like it was such a huge thing, and people were talking about what's going to happen next and all this stuff. But
Isn't maybe the listeners can correct me or not, but isn't Lost where J.J. Abrams also really got his stardom, like into TV and whatnot, and then obviously eventually got to Beyond.
Well, Mike Schindler wouldn't be able to tell us for sure, but I think it is one of those things that was one of the first important kind of prominent things that he did, because he was actually a co-creator of the show. So,
Yeah, because every time I hear Lost, I always hear J.J. Abrams constantly about Lost, and I'm like, okay, all right, it's Lost.
I think he was
right.
a big force behind it, and it might have been one of the reasons why they wanted him to, helm the Star Trek Kelvin movies.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good point.
There we go. TOS, we're backing you up. The last one we have on his list and that he played as Joe White on Hawaii Five-0 for 14 episodes. Have you guys seen Hawaii Five-0? Not the original, but the new one.
The new one?
Yeah, the TV one.
Okay.
Nope.
You know, because I saw the original, it's kind of interesting. I've seen a few episodes, but I wasn't interested enough that I was like, oh my goodness, they're remaking Hawaii Five-0. I can't wait.
Yeah, that was one of those that's like, oh, they're remaking another 80s show. Do I really have to? Nope, I don't have to, and I didn't.
They should have done what they did with Baywatch, and they should have just made it into a movie.
Ugh.
Oh, come on! You didn't like Baywatch?
No, I didn't like the TV, and I
No.
didn't see the movie.
No, not Baywatch.
Amy,
Richard,
Amy,
wait.
Amy.
You like Baywatch? Were there like explosions and conflict?
I like that. So I'm just glad that they didn't redo the TV series. I love that they did a movie and then that's it. And The Rock was friggin' awesome in it. And what's his name? That's also in the movie. I can't remember his name anymore. But anyway, they did a really good job. And you know, I hope it stays there and that's it. And but I think they did a really good job. You know, very good nod to the original Baywatch. But like with for Hawaii Five-0, sorry, getting back to Hawaii Five-0. I just lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah. So I only watched the first season. Really wasn't compelling for me to watch it after that. So I don't know.
And it's been on for like 8 seasons now. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Which I don't. Yeah.
Somebody's watching it.
I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm sure. So yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up our TV shows, and there were some actors who got their start on the movies. And Justin, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so next we have Adam Scott, and he was in Star Trek First Contact as a Defiant Con officer. I think he's the one that says, "It's the Enterprise," as they're appearing to confront the Borg cube.
Yes.
He doesn't have a huge role, but I think it is one of the first things he did back in 1996. I don't know if you guys want to comment on that. It's like a short thing of him as the con officer and a couple lines.
Yeah, he was just one of those extras, with a line and therefore a credit. So, but he did do some other things.
It's a memorable line, though, because it kind of cues the Enterprise E coming up to confront the Borg cube, which is cool. But, yeah, that was his role. But then we have a couple other things that he went on to do later on. He played Derek in 2008's Step Brothers. Is that something you guys have seen?
No, it's one of those stupid comedies that I don't watch. Just my opinion.
Isn't that
Okay.
Will? Isn't it the Will Ferrell movie?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I
Stay
like.
away from Will Ferrell.
What?
Completely.
He's
He could
He could be
hilarious.
he's not always funny, but I think he is funny in certain things. I'm probably in the middle between Amy and Richard. Richard probably thinks he's hilarious in everything.
No, not everything. No,
Okay.
not everything. Because I liked him in like what is it called? Not Animal House. What is that other movie called? He's known for. I can't remember. Where he's basically in his underwear, basically half the movie. But
Nope, haven't seen it, and now I'm not going to.
but it's a hilarious movie. I mean, he's basically the drunk in the whole entire movie. But
Okay, there
yeah.
is one movie, and that's the Crazy Glue
The Lego movie.
Lego movie.
Yes.
I liked that, but he's not the main character, so
Well, he plays almost everyone in that movie, isn't he?
that's his voice.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
have
his
to
voice.
see
Yeah,
him.
that's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have
So
to
that
clean
one
up.
I do like. There, I'll give him one.
There you go. But not all of his movies I like. I mean, it's not like Adam Sandler with all his slapstick movies and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
All right, but back to Adam Scott. So what he's, I think, most well known for is playing Ben Wyatt in 97 episodes of Parks and Recreation. Now, this is actually something where I did see an episode or two, and I just wasn't into it. Have you guys seen it or like it?
I've never seen Parks and Rec.
I haven't, but I hear so many people say really good things about it. And one of them is a brother of mine that I have, and he really enjoys it. And that sort of follows the same line of The Office, that type of humor comedy show.
Yeah.
So that
I'm not-
dry sort of like humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never got into The
I'm
Office
not
as
into
well.
The Office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think for Parks and Rec, it's also that similar style, like that kind of mockumentary style, where it's like they're just kind of going around and showing you what it's really like, and that usually doesn't work too well for me. But anyway, he's 97 episodes. That's great.
Yeah.
There we go.
So this one, I sort of snuck in on us. Bryan Singer. Now, he actually is not known as being an actor, but he did play Kelly, the tactical officer on Nemesis 2002. This was his first acting. However, he had been producing and directing other movies. So I sort of snuck him in because he did get his first acting here on Nemesis, and we all know I love Nemesis.
Yes, we
but
do.
what other things?
Tell me more.
So-
Tell me more.
Yes, I can.
We have a few hours. Why do you like? Oh no, we already did that before.
So, but some of the things that he's done, again, like I said, he is very well known director of X-Men and director and executive producer on X-Men 2. He did directed Superman Returns. He was the director of
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Yep. The Tom
Valkyrie.
Cruise one, Valkyrie. Yep.
Valkyrie. Okay. That's that Nazi one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The
Okay.
attempted, what was it, assassination of Adolf Hitler. Yep.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. Producer on X-Men Origins Wolverine and First Class. He was also executive producer on House, the TV series, for 175 episodes. Did you guys watch House?
I
No.
did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love House. It's my dad actually just bought the entire collection, that big cube. So we watch it here and there. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched House. I think around near the last few, I sort of dropped off. I was getting done with it. But yeah, I watched it for quite a few of its seasons.
Yeah, you should watch the
He-
last few episodes. They got really good. Obviously, they knew they're going to get canceled, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it
You should
looks-
watch it.
It looks like on IMDb there was an episode where he played himself.
Oh,
Did he?
That's what
Oh.
he's credited as an actor.
Nice.
okay.
There you go.
Anyway,
Director and producer, X-Men, Days of Future Past, and Battle Creek, 13 episodes, that TV show Battle Creek in
never
2015.
heard of it.
That sounds like a Civil War documentary.
No,
or TV
I
show.
think it's a murder thing. I
Is it?
haven't seen it, but I remember hearing about it. And then he was director and producer of X-Men Apocalypse. So he's done, I mean, because I like X-Men, he's
So
done
that means
almost
means
of
he's
it.
directed Patrick Stewart, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
cool.
yeah.
It's another
No,
nice
that's really
connection.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. I and I'm glad that is because I actually just watched Superman Returns yesterday and I love that movie. So
Yeah, that one's a good one too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
So glad that he got his first acting gig on Nemesis.
there you go.
So another Nemesis contributor here. Who wants it?
Is Tom Hardy.
Okay.
So, obviously, we know him as as Shinzon, obviously, and the younger clone of Picard in Star Trek Nemesis 2002, or it was in 2002. There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he did a great job.
So let's go
He
on to the
did
next one.
an
No, just kidding.
amazing job. I love Tom Hardy of this. I love Shinzon.
No, he does do a
But
really good job. My problems are with other parts of it.
It's
But
so good. And like on YouTube, there's like that where just sort of the before it's shot, like a reading, a script reading on YouTube, where it's him and Patrick Stewart, and they're doing the, I'm the mirror, and you can be the mirror too. And it's so good.
I don't think I've seen that before.
I don't think I've seen that
Oh,
either.
it's really good.
I have to look into
I'll give you guys the link.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Although
Right on.
it does make me think of when you guys were doing that thing with Lee about the theatrical trailers, and they had one for Nemesis where they morphed Tom Hardy into like Patrick Stewart, which looked kind of cool. It actually convinced me more that works.
Yes.
Nice. Right on.
But yeah, that's where you got to start. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we have, and we didn't see him for quite a while. 2010, he was, is it Ames? Eames,
I think.
Eames. It's like James without the J, but like with an E. So it's Ames in Inception. I've never seen Inception. Have you?
I've
Is
heard
this
people refer to it.
Yeah. Is this Tom Cruise?
I'm looking
this is
at
Tom
Leonardo
Hardy.
DiCaprio.
No, I know, but
I'll just.
oh
I'll give
yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell us, Amy? Since you just figured it out.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. And is this the one where he's stealing? Okay, it says a thief who steals corporate secrets through use of dream sharing technology is given the inverse task of planting an idea into the mind of the CEO.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people talk about it. I think even on Trek FM podcast, people talk about Inception level stuff, or that something reminds of Inception. So I think it's gotten into the consciousness, but I've never seen it.
No, neither have I.
I've
If I
heard
heard
Yeah,
about it, I
I've
don't
seen
remember
it, but I think I only saw it once. So
Huh.
yes, it's a good one.
Well, I
Okay.
guess you've got to see it again to see what you think of Tom Hardy in it.
And everything
Yes.
will become clear with all the podcasts. So, because we'll be on the same page. Okay, so we have next is Ricky Tarr in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and that was released in 2011. Another movie I've never seen before. I don't know what
I
it is
saw
about.
it once, and I really couldn't tell you much about it, but I've heard good things about it.
Have you?
I haven't seen it. I mean, I know it's about espionage and it's based on a John le Carré novel. I mean, there are things that I've like read about or heard about, but I've never seen, so haven't seen it.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll have to go check it out. All right. So next one we have is he played as Tuck in This Means War, and that was also released in 2012, or that was released in 2012.
Yes, have you guys seen this one?
No.
Oh,
Of course I
love it.
haven't.
Okay,
Tell us about it.
so
Tell me more.
I know this one. So Tom Hardy is playing with Chris Pine and
yeah?
Reese Witherspoon. And so to see the two, Chris Pine and Tom Hardy together, it just so made my heart happy. And so this is the one with Reese Witherspoon,
Yes.
right? And they're friends and they're trying to win her affection to see who she chooses. And so they're sort of competing for her affection.
Yep, I remember seeing this now.
Cute, lighthearted, fun, romantic comedy.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yeah. I think I've seen Jennifer watch this movie, and I think I've, bits and pieces of it. But I mean, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
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 I
Cool.
mean, it's totally lighthearted. It got overlooked. I remember seeing it advertised for the movies, and I don't think it stayed very long. But yeah, it's cute.
This Means War. There you go. A love story.
Yeah, but it's with Chris Pine too. So
Oh, it's a double. It's a
Another
double.
Star
winner. There
Trek
you go.
connection.
yep.
There we go. It's just including you again, TOS. Don't sue us. Anyway, so then he also played, and I had no idea. He must have gotten ripped for this because he played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, and I don't think you can't recognize him with the mask on. But like he must have just gotten really ripped for that because Bane was a steroid user, so. In the movies or in the comic book. Sorry.
Well, it was 10 years after Nemesis, so definitely,
Yeah.
bulking up and working out.
Then again, it could be CGI too. I don't know. Yeah.
But I like Dark Knight Rises, and when I found out that Bane was Tom Hardy, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't recognize him from the get-go, but I like Dark Knight Rises. And he does a great job as Bane.
All right. It won't surprise you for me to say the last time I have not seen it.
Oh, just
You should see
Actually-
The Dark Rises. It's really
You
good
know what?
movie.
Actually, I think the last Batman movie I saw was the one in 1989, honestly. So,
The original?
anyway. Yeah, because I remember I was a kid and I was excited about that, and I saw it and I was like, oh, this is good, and I just didn't bother with any of the rest.
I will say this, that is by far the best one out of all of them, or at least in my opinion, that's the best one out of
Who's going
all
to
of
fight with
them.
you about that one?
You bring it on up. Let's go. So, yeah, definitely. But I mean, the Dark Knight movie, the series or trilogy is actually really, really, really good. I would say it's probably on par with the first one.
Yeah, it's my favorite Batman series, those Nolan ones, right?
You mean you didn't like George Clooney or Val Kilmer or anything like that?
No,
Because no one could beat
No.
Michael Keaton.
no.
But yeah, good series. So the next one is Max Rokitansky.
Rockatansky?
There we go. In Mad Max Fury Road, and that was released in 2015. I've never seen Mad Max Fury Road. I've seen the first one, but not this one. So,
Why did you not see the second one?
Is there a ban on that too?
no, it was a trade embargo. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just it didn't appeal to me from all the trailers and everything. I think I might have seen it like bits and pieces of it, but I've never actually sat down and seen the whole entire movie. So
Yeah, I did not see Mad Max or Fury Road, so it didn't seem to interest me when I saw the previews. So,
yeah.
and I'm assuming, Justin, you haven't seen this movie.
That would be correct.
Next, no,
Pretty safe assumption going on
If
here.
it's after 1997, it's a pretty safe assumption with just like with that one exception for Hidden Figures. But yeah,
there we go.
I'm glad you guys have seen some of these because otherwise it would be really boring if it was just me saying I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that would be boring. Inception? Nope. Ticket? No. Nope. I don't even know what that means. So,
Some of these I haven't heard of. A lot of them, you know what, I have heard of. I've just ignored.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So the next one we have is Reggie or Ron and Ron Cray. Is that part of his name?
Yeah, he, like his name morphed from Reggie into Ron, apparently.
Sort of like a
So Reggie Cray.
got it or Ron Cray. Are they
Yeah.
twins? Is that basically the premise of it? Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, there we go. Well, neither have I. That was Legend. So if you didn't know by the name, I've never seen Legend myself either. I don't even, I am looking at the poster and I've never seen the actual. Yeah, it is the Cray twins. So he plays us both. There we go. But I'm looking at the poster. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Or I
Identical
don't
twin
remember.
gangsters. Interesting.
Oh, I think I wanted to see this.
Gruesome
Okay,
career
I'm
to their
definitely
downfall.
going to have to.
In prison
Get
for
this
life
one.
in 1969. Interesting. Okay.
Oh. Okay, maybe I have seen it, but I don't remember, obviously. No, okay, so reading it, yeah. The identical twin gangsters, Ronald and Reggie Cray, terrorized London during the 1960s. Okay, yeah, I do remember. It's pretty.
Good.
It's a gangster movie, so
Oh.
violent, and they do some bad things. So.
But then on my list to watch. Okay, no, just kidding. Anyway, so
Oh, good. I have seen one. Okay, good.
okay. He also played as John Fitzgerald in The Revenant in 2015.
Did you not see this? I thought for sure you would have, Richard.
Didn't
This
you?
is the gory battle. Which battle was it?
It says it's about fur trading in the 1820s.
Yeah.
And there is some battle with the bear.
No, I've never seen it. I actually
It's like the cold winter.
That's the DiCaprio movie, isn't it?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
I've seen parts of that movie, and I think the part that I saw was he was beating someone up pretty badly, and that actually turned me off to the movie. It wasn't like it was like fist beating and everything, and it got
That's
to
just
me.
really
And I'm like,
graphic.
nope, that's not me. I don't like those kind of movies where someone's being beaten down like a victim, or they're helpless, not victim. They're helpless and they can't fight against that person. So
Okay.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
seeing a fair fight.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
Yep.
if anyone who knows me knows that I'm cold all the time, and the trailer and the previews for this movie, it was like all about winter and cold and icicles on their beards. And I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, but I was like,
Is
I
that
don't
why
want
you
to
didn't
see.
see it?
Yes, I didn't want to see a movie because it made me too cold. It didn't interest me at all. So those of you who do know me,
You
that's
could have
why.
taken a
There you
blanket
go.
or something like that, right?
Are you going to tell us what this cold-inducing movie was?
Legend or The Revenant.
Yeah,
Oh.
The Revenant. Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
Yeah.
Though the Revenant is the one that has the cold. Okay,
Right.
I thought we were going
Yeah.
on the next one.
no. The Revenant. Definitely a lot of their trailers. Yeah, dealt with a lot of cold.
Yes.
Looked like a very cold movie.
Like Fargo level cold.
Yeah, did you? Yeah,
Yeah.
look at the pictures.
I
It's
saw the
like
Pictures
fur.
looks cold. Yeah.
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 Okay.
No. Mm-mm. So the next one we have, and I am sad to say I've not seen this one. Farrier,
Farrier, maybe?
Farrier. There we go. Yeah, that works.
Farrier?
Farrier.
Maybe.
Because I'm thinking it's, over there across the pond.
Maybe, I don't know. But he played also in Dunkirk in 2017. I really want to see this movie. I really do, but I have not
I
had the
know,
time.
me too. I've heard so many good things about it. And even from hosts, on the network, I think Primitive Culture talked about it. And it's something that I definitely want to see. And it's an important movie to see based on, real events and
Hey, I
World
haven't
War II.
I haven't seen it, but I do know that Dunkirk was one of the most important things that happened in the 20th century, probably because if they hadn't evacuated all those troops from the European continent before Hitler's army, the World War II could have gone very differently. So I think it looks at a really pivotal moment, but I haven't seen it yet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry for
So
yeah.
Tom Hardy's been
It's been
really,
busy.
yeah.
Lately. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So looking back through seasons 5 to 7 in the movies, Justin, what are your final thoughts? Have some movies added to your must-see list now?
I don't know if they have, but I was proud that I'd seen more than like one or two things. So, and for Kirsten Dunst, like 2 things. No, but I mean, it's really interesting to look at lists like these and to talk about them, because I think we even talked about this list longer than we did the last one, because there are like a lot of interesting like different movies and series and things to talk about. And for me, not having seen a lot of these, I'm just like, oh, tell me about it. What's this about? So, but again, I mean, I think we're seeing, the next generation, helped, actors with some roles that got them started, and they ended up doing a lot of things, right down to the present day, decades or years later. So it's been great actually to really look at these lists. I was honestly kind of, dreading this one a little bit, because I was going to have to say I haven't seen that, but there were a couple I did see. So, I think it was a good discussion. It was interesting to look at.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I actually enjoyed doing these 2-parters because, of course we talk about Star Trek and everything, but I like that we're talking about these other shows that we may have seen or might have seen or something like that, and it's great discussion. So I really do like us talking about all these other shows as well that these actors have definitely started on TNG. So yeah, it's I love it. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, it was, splitting up into 2 parts because we definitely could not have done all of this in one episode. And yeah, definitely these later seasons, we got to see more famous people, I guess. I mean, because, looking over last week's episode, like we didn't really, outside of maybe Terry Hatcher, they weren't really big stars. And it seems like we're talking some serious big stars, here with this second part, And so it's very interesting to see that take place in the later seasons of Next Gen and how these people are getting their starts. And I think people recognized and it's like, oh yeah, I'll do this guest spot on Next Gen, and just catapults them into being famous. So it's pretty cool. Well, it's been fun talking about actors who got their start on TNG today, but that isn't the only thing we've been talking about here on the network. Here's what you might have missed elsewhere on Trek FM.
Previously on Trek.fm, the 602 Club.
I know, I went all in. Yeah, I think if it came up short, I think there was going to be a lot of screen caps with a lot of people. I think even on podcasts, I've been throwing it all out. Oh, this is going to be one of the best. Trust me on this one. Yeah, Thor 2, ignore that. This one will be the bee's knees, as it were. So, yeah, there was a lot of pressure. Right? I don't think just on Marvel and Taiki Waititi, but on me, myself, with my audacious claims.
The Edge, a Star Trek Discovery podcast.
And with the final argument that he has with Burnham at the end of the episode, right? Everywhere that Burnham is, she's taking away from him, and that's how he feels, right? We as the audience see it differently, but according to Saru, Burnham is always taking, and destroying Saru's life by taking all this stuff.
Meta Treks.
But it was 1977 that Kunzel went off and started recording with the Cincinnati Pops. And basically the Cincinnati Pops and Eric Kunzel saved the Telarc record label back in the 80s when they recorded the 1812 Overture. And that was such a huge record, and classical records weren't doing so well back in the early 80s.
Standard Orbit.
I wonder how they combined the matter of the two of them. Is there a setting where it's just like combined or not combined?
Obviously. It's that little blinking blue button that's kind of shaped like a warped Skittle on the right side that does that.
Oh, God. I'll look for that in those close-ups of not James Doohan's hands next time I watch the episode.
And that's what else is happening on Trek.fm.
Check out all these shows and join the conversation about your favorite corner of the Star Trek universe and beyond. You'll find us wherever you get your podcasts. If you're an Apple user, be sure to hit the subscribe button in Apple Podcasts on iPhone, iPad, or Apple TV, or the desktop iTunes app to get the latest episodes as soon as they are published. And please leave us a star rating and written review.
If you're not an Apple user, we've got you covered as well. You can find our shows on Google Play. You can find our shows on Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Windows Phone, in most third-party apps, and you can stream and download the MP3 file from our website or grab the RSS link.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's show, and there are many ways for you to do that. The best place to join in the larger conversation is the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook. Just type Babel, B-A-B-E-L, into the search field on Facebook, and it should come right up.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can use the form on our website at trek.fm/contact. Choose to send to a show and select Earl Grey. That will come straight to us. You can also find the network at on Twitter at TrekFM and on Facebook at facebook.com/TrekFM.
So, Justin, where can people talk to you and let you know you need to see a few more movies?
Well, actually, if you want to talk to me about Star Trek, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at TrekFan4747, where I talk about nothing but Star Trek because there's so much else that I have not seen that I prefer to focus on the things I have seen. And I'm currently tweeting out my Season 4 rewatch of The Next Generation. You can also find me hanging around the Babel Conference on Facebook. So, Richard, where can people find you when you're not watching explosions and gunfire?
Well, right now I'm actually starting on Battlestar Galactica, and the new one, not the. Well, I've seen the old one, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, so more explosions and gunfire, so we're good. So yeah, you guys can find me also on Facebook. I pop in here and there on the Babel Conference, and I'm also on Twitter. My handle is xransom, and like I said, I've actually dropped off the wagon on Twitter right this second, but I'll be back on it. But I've been tweeting about Battlestar Galactica, the new Battlestar Galactica. So if you want to listen to my thoughts, then yeah, come on.
But
down.
Richard, are you just saying you aren't putting any tweets out there, or does anything happen to your account again?
I've been concentrating on watching them versus tweeting.
Okay.
So because like I think the last tweet was on season 1, episode 9. And now I'm on season 2, episode 6. So I probably should go back and redo that.
I was wondering what those tweets were, because I just have no idea. So now that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been watching Battlestar, so yeah. I didn't think I was going to like it, and I can't stop watching it now.
You haven't seen it before?
Cool.
No, I've never seen the new one before. No, this is the first. So
I tried
it's really cool.
And I failed.
Did you? You didn't like it?
I didn't. Well, this is probably a topic for a different conversation, but yeah, I heard a lot about it. I tried it, and I've tried a couple of times, and I get maybe like 15 or 20 minutes in, and I'm just like, I'd rather be watching Star Trek right now. But that's just my personal opinion.
It's a rough few first episodes, but it's really. I mean, obviously, it lays the foundation of it. So I think it's really good. Yeah. So
you have to tell me which one to skip to after the first few episodes.
Okay. So, Amy, where can everyone find you on the network, or find you?
Yeah, you can find me on the network. I'm host of The Edge. That's our podcast dedicated to the new Star Trek Discovery, and having a really fun time with that. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson, but my favorite place is on the Babel Conference.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/TrekFM. That's patreon.com/TrekFM to get all the details. Perks include early access to episodes, exclusive content, producer credits, and more available through our special patrons website, The Patron Zone. It requires a great deal of money to produce, host, and distribute these shows each month. We really appreciate any support you can give us and hope you'll join the team. Again, you'll find all the details at patreon.com/TrekFM.
And we'd like to take this time to thank our associate producers, Norman C. Lau, Justin Ozer, and Michael Huter. Thank you so much for supporting Trek FM and Earl Grey. Well, thank you for listening, and we hope that you join us next time for another cup of Earl Grey.
Things are only impossible until they're not.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Great joy and gratitude.